This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
So the come return of Who Sucks Less, what you don't need to know, poops in space. And our question is, I still think of the lovely Maria. Where did you have the sex? 844-999-OLA.
Yeah, people are struggling with this, having sex next to his mother in the same bed while she snores.
Comments?
Basically it says, and callers to the show have reached a new low.
Well, no, that's hey, man, you tell me how you can beat that one. I mean, you look at it.
Do you want to?
I mean, how could you?
No, but that's not something you want to top.
How could you top that? You couldn't top that if you wanted to.
But I don't think you should say top that.
Like, I've been to prison 18 times.
Top that.
I can't top it, but you know what? I'm cool to let you hold that record, man.
I get it. I don't want to be in there anyway.
Here's the thing. No one's going to top it, but I can't promise this. I say with full confidence, no one has on their sex bucket list sex in the same bed as my mom while she's sleeping.
And snoring.
So no one's looking to top it. No one said, oh, damn, I wanted to do that.
And maybe mom knew.
God.
Where did you have the sex? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Danielle. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
All right, guys, I think I can top that one.
Oh, no. No, it's not a challenge.
What? Yeah, we're going down a bad path.
Man. All right, what do you got?
All right. So, for work, I work for the Navy. I clean and maintain things on the submarines. Part of my job entails oil tank.
Yeah. Hold on.
Colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Cusses like a sailor.
Mm-hmm. God, she should join the Navy. All right, Danielle, right, crap tanks, we got you.
So you get to sandblast the crap tanks with your water hose.
Yes.
Why does that sound like a euphemism?
How bad does that
I'm
smell?
going to sandblast.
When you're power washing a poop tank. Does that stink?
Well, luckily we wear respirators, so you can't even notice. You kind of just goes over your head after a while.
Yeah.
So I started messing around with a coworker. One day we both get assigned to the same job. So we get all green suited up, duct taped up in rubber boots and whatnot, and we get inside the tank together, and we're supposed to be power washing it. Then I turn to him and I'm like, hey, you're as crazy as me, you take your pants off right now. And that's pretty much how that happened. So we got on inside of a oil tank on a sub.
The oil, not the poop tank, but the oil tank.
Yeah, that would have been stretching it.
What was in there? Was it clean? Yeah. Was it covered in oil? What was going on?
It was kind of slippery, a little difficult, honestly, but now it's all pumped out. So.
And was this a one-off deal with this guy?
Like, was that the only time?
Yeah.
At work, yeah.
Okay.
At work. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Good.
Damn.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you would have said that to me, was that the first time you'd had sex?
With them, it was, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I'd have been done the same thing. Right. You're just crazy. You don't have to be crazy.
My pants are off.
By the way, Mile, and this is unfortunate, we had the guy, James, who called, yes, he had sex in a king-size bed with his girlfriend while his mother snored in the same bed a couple feet away. Mm-hmm. Someone else says, I had sex in the same tent with my mom and sister.
Oh, dude.
Come on, man. I do feel like that's a little better. Because you're not on this. It's not great. But I feel like if they said, look, your mother's going to be present and sleeping while you have sex, okay? Like, that's the situation you're in. You can have sex on a king-size bed and she's dead asleep on the same bed. No. Or you're in the same tent. But look, I'm in my own sleeping bag and all that. I'm taking the tent 100 times. No question, man.
I don't know. I
tent
think they're
or
both.
bed? But if it's your option, Ted, you're going to have sex, mom's there, the tent or the bed.
I feel like I can get farther away depending on the size of the tent.
See, I think I can get farther away in the bed.
Really?
But the bed's going to vibrate and shake. Like, because you're all on this platform.
Tent, I mean,
look, neither's great, but, like, here's the thing, all right? So if my mom knows I'm having sex actively, but I'm in a sleeping bag, maybe she says stop, but she's not looking at my naked ass. I'm in my own little, we're in the same area, but I'm in my own cocoon. The bed, it's like, man, we're sharing the sheets and everything. That's That's not okay, man.
Yeah, it's all gross.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Where did you have the sex? 844-999.
I'm on hold right now on the radio.
Hello, Daniel. Daniel, hello.
Yes, Daniel,
welcome to the
radio.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Okay, so I was with my ex, and we were laying on the couch, going ninja style. And her dad decides to walk in, sit down on the recliner, and turn the Mariners game on.
And so do you guys just kind of stop your ninja sex?
Oh, no, we continued for sure.
In front of his dad? In front of her dad?
Oh, right in front of her dad.
And he didn't care?
He had no idea.
I'd say there's no way he knew.
All right, okay. That's crazy.
You still in contact with this girl?
Well, he continued to talk to me about how their season was going and how much they just lose all the time, and I was not losing at the moment. I was definitely winning.
But, I mean, are you having a conversation, or are you just like, yeah, uh-huh?
Oh, no, we're conversing while the movements are still going.
Multitasking.
Oh, jeez, a whiz.
That had to be great for the girlfriend.
The blankets and the pillows on the outside and her dog sitting up by her head was just enough cover that he had no idea.
The dog by the head. This sounds awfully romantic.
Like at this point.
It sounds just awfully romantic. It was, mid-afternoon. Didn't think he came home from work early, and the M's game was on at 1. So it was like, man, all right, what do I do? Do I stop or finish? And, the job was done and the game was won.
Okay, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have confidence.
I'd be a fan of the Mariners after that.
Where did you have the sex? 844-999-OLA.
I would have to stop. Like your father.
No, I mean, we're done. Mm-hmm. We are done.
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, even as an adult, I don't know if I want to have sex with a woman if I know her dad's near.
And we're married and the whole deal.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like, look, I overlooked the dog sitting by your head, all right? But now that your father's sitting here talking to me about baseball, I'm going to go ahead and stop.
I will say this. If you're driving around and you have a teenager, like a lot of these stories, like this is why you're not allowed in the basement with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is why you have a curfew.
Yeah.
Because if not, you just continue to do this all night. So we want to cut it off at some point.
Addison, welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing well, thank you.
So my story. Back whenever I was in high school, me and my boyfriend at the time, we were both in band, and
what did he play?
He played saxophone.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, we get it.
Did you get to go to band camp and go on away trips and all that stuff?
We went on the away trips. We never went to band camp, but we had these upstairs practice rooms, okay? And one day we both snuck out of class to go to the band hall to practice, and we actually snuck upstairs and we had the sex upstairs in the practice rooms.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What instrument did you play?
The skin flute, obviously.
Here we go. All right. Who's got comedy? I'll be doing 2 shows of Giggles on Thursday night and one show Sunday.
It's the goddamn saxophone player.
No shortage of female callers today.
Yeah, because the one thing about that, look, a lot of people, I don't poop, I don't fuck. When it comes to sex, everybody's in, man.
They're a hell of a lot more adventurous than those guys. Where did you have the sex? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Elric. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, you dinosaurs.
Hola.
How's it going?
Good, man.
Good. So, I mean, I've got a lot of places, honestly, but the ones that came to mind on a plane, on a train, and in an automobile on a boat.
So you've done all the forms of transportation.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
He had the John Candy sex.
There's no other way to get anywhere other than having sex while walking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't tried that yet, but
what was your technique on the plane?
On the plane, it was pretty fortunate. My now wife and I, we were just coming back from Reno this was last year, and we got, we talked about it a lot, but we got put in the very back seats next to the back.
Which probably smelled a lot better than Reno. Because you're right back there by the bathroom.
That's right, man. I'm from Reno, so I understand.
Hey, you got to vouch. You got to vouch for the best sushi in town, being at the strip club downtown. Does that place still exist?
I have no idea, man.
Right by the train station.
Yeah. But yes, I mean, in the plane, it was pretty easy, pretty simple. We just we were in the very back row, and she went first. I just followed her. All the flight attendants were at the front of the plane. Those bathrooms are tiny in the planes too, so it was pretty cramped, pretty awkward. But we made it happen.
What about the train?
The train, I think that's my favorite story. That was when I was in high school, senior year trip. The whole class was taking the train to different colleges. We were on our way to Evergreen, and my teacher, so basically my girlfriend at the time had to go to the bathroom. My teacher said, "Hey, Elric, why don't you go escort her so she can find the bathroom?" And I was like, well, yeah, of course I will. So we go into the bathroom, and I take off her clothes. We're getting down, we're having sex, and all of a sudden, somebody starts banging on the bathroom door, and I realized that her bra had fallen to the ground, and her bra strap was sticking out the bottom of the door. And so they're banging, and so I decided to start banging louder in competition, right? So I figure I'm there, like I might as well. And so it eventually stops, and we finish, and we go back. And as we go back, it turned out that it had been some of my friends in the class that had seen the strap and seen us. And so we got a standing ovation from the entire senior class on this train because they all knew what was going on. And the teacher was completely bewildered, had no idea what was happening at all.
Okay.
That's a teacher I like.
That's right.
Like you haven't figured out what just happened. No, why are they? Hey, cool. You're my favorite.
Still to come, what you don't need to know, poops in space, a return of Who Sucks Less, and we've got your emails coming up on our question, where did you have the sex? You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, where did you have the sex? And here come those emails from the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Guys, the ex and I had sex on the front lawn of a church as we walked home from the bar in the middle of the night. Thank God for skirts. Guys, I was bent over an S10 pickup truck, Golden Gardens, as a train went by. Whistles loud. I had sex on top of the Key Bank. Pretty sure that's where my son was conceived.
Oh, very nice.
That from Sarah. Guys, in Waubun, a couple years back, the Catholic school my buddy's daughter goes to had an Italian dinner event. $30 for all you can eat and all you can drink red wine. Wife and I attend, and being the good Irish Catholic that I am, I took him to the cleaners on the free wine. Goblet after goblet flowed. About 2 hours in, I'm feeling really good. I followed my wife down a random hallway in the school, and we ended up hooking it up there on the kids' bathroom at a Catholic school. After we were done batter dipping the corn dog, we got out of there pretty quick before the big man upstairs decided to strike us with lightning on the way home. With red wine flowing through my veins, we had not quenched our sexual thirst, so to speak. So basically, we threw down in the back of the minivan and started doing that. We already have 2 kids, but that's the moment she made a man out of me for sure. Peace out, bitches. Lots of love. That from Squeeze. I was a volunteer firefighter in El Paso, took my girlfriend to the station one night, and we ended up having sex on top of the fire engine. We even used one of the rescue ropes to tie her down to the rails on top. Wonder who the we was. Another guy.
Jeff.
It's the Proby.
Jeff, yeah, hey, man.
Proby, get in here.
Tie your wife down.
That's why they call you Proby.
By the way, I think I saw that in Backdraft. Right? They had sex on top of the hoses in the back of the truck.
Did they?
Oh, that's right. Didn't they have, like, the alarm went off?
Yeah, because they're like having sex and there's a fire going at the same time.
Park bench in St. James Park within view of Buckingham Palace. We had some drinks. We're walking through the park at night, and she had on a skirt. Guys, I had sex with my girlfriend on the small hill overlooking the cadet chapel at the Air Force Academy. The whole time tourists were walking within 30 feet of us. That from Rich. Bless you.
Thank you.
Had sex in between classes while teaching summer swimming lessons on the diving board at our high school. Pro tip, put a towel down. It's hard to explain the road rash on your back and posterior. Boo bitches, I had sex in the KFC cooler over the coleslaw bin.
Finger licking good.
A couple times at the dining tables. I was 16, she was 25. Thank you, Judy.
Judy, good old Judy. Here's to Judy.
Judy at the KFC. Goddamn, those are the days. Just come home with a whole box of potato wedges. The smell of Judy on my hands.
It was finger looking good.
A couple of biscuits. Gentlemen, back when I was in high school, I worked at a radio station in Indiana. And I was the overnight DJ, and in the morning, I would get relieved by a pretty hot young lady.
Gee, what station was that,
That
man?
means the next person coming in on the shift. I was getting relieved.
I see.
Well, one Sunday morning, our teasing back and forth had risen to a new level to where we decided it would be a great idea to get it on the control board of the radio station. Everything was going fine right up to the point where she put her hand on the mic button and let out a very loud scream. I saw that she had pizza levels on the mic, and I immediately stopped and turned off the microphone. I thought nothing of it until about 5 minutes later when the owner of the station called and asked me if I heard anything or knew of anything going on because he heard a woman screaming during a Richard Marx song. You should have known better.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I, of course, told him that I didn't know what she was talking about, and we got off the phone, and I thought nothing else of it. However, 20 minutes later, he walked in the door and was walking around the building looking as if he was trying to find something. Who could maybe someone had snuck in the building. Luckily for us, security cameras were not a big thing back then, or else we probably would have been busted. That from J-Rod. Guys, I had the sex in the Sunday school van outside of a bar with a preacher's wife. And finally, Reflection Pond on the Mall, D.C., 4th of July.
All right, not bad.
We have time for a few extra emails here from the men's room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Hello, gentlemen, and Wobbin. My son Luke was born at 7:08 this morning, and I was hoping he could get a very first little kid fish sandwich. And the lovely Wobbin wishing him a happy birthday in German. Thanks, guys. That from Christopher.
Fish challenge!
Ja, fröhlichen Geburtstag.
It's already frolicking the boat staff.
This is the real one.
Yeah.
The date of birth. A gentleman wishing our darling nephew Archer a happy third from Auntie Olivia and Uncle Ben in Okinawa, Japan. Have the best Godzilla birthday ever. We love you, kiddo. Please give him the dirty Germans talking about dinosaurs. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you are only 3 years old. I do not know what to tell you about dinosaurs yet.
Ja, this T-Rex hat keine arms.
Pachola, today is my cousin Chili's birthday. Can I get a Leroy Chickens and a You Like That? Thanks, guys. That from Michael.
Let's do this. Leroy! You like that? You like that?
Guys, want to wish a happy birthday to my two sons, Jared, who is 15, and Gavin, who is 12. Yes, they share the same birthday with two different mothers.
Oh.
Can you get your penis is too small and a barbershop fish sandwich? Thanks, guys. I'll come have an outdoor beer with you at Red Festival
Excellent.
on June 23rd. That from Marty in Tacoma.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side.
Oh, yeah.
I smell the fish sandwich, maybe some dill relish in the morning, at noon, and at night, and at night.
Guys, a birthday shout out to my nephew Brandon. He's 17, great kid, learned the value of hard work with his awesome dad. Can I get a suck it up cupcake and a fish sandwich? Keep up the funny, guys. That from Mike.
So, suck it up, cupcake fish sandwich.
Simply says, happy birthday to Norgard. Happy birthday, Norgard.
Happy birthday.
Guys, can I get a birthday request of Ola Bichola and a Can I Grow Up? Can't wait to get home, guys, and crack open a men's room gold for my birthday. Thank you, guys. That from Nick.
Oh, hell, what did he want?
Can I grow up?
Oh.
Can I grow up?
Today's my 28th. I asked the Robin Fox, please read this German passage in her slowest, sexiest German voice. Thanks a lot, guys. That from Eric.
Because German and sexy
Horrible.
often go hand in hand.
Oh my gosh. Oh God. All right. Ich liebe den Geschmack von Fleisch und Soße. Ich kann es kaum erwarten, Fleisch und Soße in meinem Mund zu haben. Kann ich Ihr Fleisch und Soße schmecken? Alles Gute zum Geburtstag, Eric. You're disgusting.
That is sexy.
Also, you're disgusting.
What does that mean?
Yeah, was there any-
Rough
It
ride?
involved meat and sauce.
Okay.
I'd like to wish my oldest son, Delmar Young, a happy 29th birthday today. Last year, I had his age wrong on your show.
Aw.
So how about a suck it up cupcake and some German talk about construction? Thanks, guys. That from Tracy.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
Yeah, I cannot help you with construction, but I know a lot about handling wood.
Yeah, what I like about construction is you get to measure and then nail a lot of things.
All the guys, I'd like to send a birthday shout out to my best friend and husband, Ken Marinelli. Gonna get an original fish sandwich and you guys talking all over each other about Ford Focuses. Thanks, guys. That from Gin Marinelli.
Fish sandwich.
Ford Focus.
I don't know a ton about the Ford
I don't
Focus,
either,
other
but
than
if
the
you
fact
want
that
to,
as far as
have sex
look,
in
when
it,
it comes to
boy,
that,
it's
right,
around.
you just want to have sex
Tiny
in
little
it.
car.
I don't know if there's enough room for my big tall ass, but I will focus.
Guys, today is Kim's birthday. She is 35-ish, loves the show. Can you wish her a happy birthday with a Suck It Up cupcake? And also, she works at Seattle Pottery Supply. So can you mention in dirty German and talk about her maybe hot ceramic oven? Thank you, guys. That from Brian.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
Yeah, I would gladly let you mold my clay and place it in your oven so that it gets firm and hard and glossy.
Glazed.
Yeah. And I remember that movie Ghost. We'll have to take our shirts off and have sex afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, bitchy.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Couple extras here. This one says, hello, gentlemen, and Wobbin. Subject, need Mike Hawk's permission. Guys, my son is 2 years old, and I make him breakfast in the morning. It occurred to me that I have been making him the Mike Hawk breakfast, and I need his permission to name it that. It consists of white bread toast with butter, 100% whole milk, apple slices with no peel. He, of course, eats this completely naked. Thanks for a fantastic show. That from the bus mechanic known as Kyle.
I approve this breakfast.
You do.
You approve someone feeding their 2-year-old something called the Mike Hawk breakfast.
I do.
That's how CPS gets called.
Oh, boy. Best player in baseball, guys, easily Mike Trout. He is a total stud. We move on. Red Festival. Ola Bicholas, I have a suggestion for the upcoming Red Festival. Would it be possible for you guys to maybe charter a plane to fly to some of your affiliate cities that carry the show? This would give your listeners who are not in Seattle a chance to come and enjoy Red Festival. I can tell you, you have at least one listener here in Appleton, Wisconsin, who would love to come enjoy the facilities. That from Paul, listening in lovely Appleton, listening to us up on the Fox. Paul,
man, oh man,
we have we
what a wonderful, it never crossed our mind. We certainly did not approach the people that could make this happen. We certainly at no point said, hey, there's like 20 cities out there and we would like them to be able to join us for this, right? Because it's a good time where they're going to drink beer, meet other people that enjoy the show. It's a cross-country thing. We think that would be outstanding. At no point did we ever just say, hey, guys, maybe we should make that happen. That never, Paul, you know what, man, you're 100% correct. And listen, we tried to get that done, and I'm not sure who dropped the ball, but this is roughly how things work. We come up with an idea, you got to sell it up the chain, right? That's just how it goes. We pumped it up the chain months before we even announced this.
It's not a good enough job, Paul.
Yeah.
We didn't do a good enough job. So we're going to try again next year, but I'll tell you what we will do. We're going to make it a point to get to Appleton, Wisconsin, and come get a beer with you in the meantime. Guys, I haven't been listening to you guys. I have not been listening to you guys forever. But I have been listening to you guys for the past couple of months. I've tried calling in while listening to you, but it seems to be a problem with the time zones here. I'm down in Mississippi.
Oh,
there we go, down in Biloxi, right? I can't seem to catch a chance to call when you're live. I had some good input on some topics, but turns out other people have topped basically whatever I would have said anyway. Oh, well, but hopefully my wife will be listening. If you guys could just give her a shout out for sticking it with me throughout the tough times in and out of the Marine Corps. That guy is from Fish, who says, P.S. Sorry for any grammar mistakes. West Virginia education, LOL. I let Fish know, don't worry, I too have a West Virginia education.
So as far as you spelled everything right.
And also hooked up with Tegan with our number in the times to call based on the time zone, which is the central time zone in Mississippi where he listens. So
did you bring up was it Half Moon, Half Shell? What the hell is that?
Half Moon Oyster House?
God damn. Listen, I just can't say enough about the joint, man.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
It was so good.
All right, Bicholas, let's see here. What do we got? We got coming up what you don't need to know poops in space, but first.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less?
Yay! Time once again for Who Sucks Less. Every week, Steve Crohill brings us three stories from the news. All of them, in fact, suck, but it's up to us to determine which of these three stories suck the least. Now, if you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on who sucks less.
Yes, indeed. And as always, we have our three contestants. We have a woman in Pennsylvania. She will be taking on a 79-year-old man from California. And in the end, they will all be competing against another gentleman from the fine state of Virginia. But let us start in Pennsylvania, where police say that the Pennsylvania woman staged her son's DUI. The 38-year-old West Milton woman, she told investigators that she put her 20-year-old son behind the wheel back in February, then called police and said that he was high on synthetic marijuana and passed out in the car. As a result of this, her son was charged with driving under the influence. But later, at the preliminary hearing, he said, look, man, my mom put me in the vehicle and started the engine. So it's not that he was not high on synthetic marijuana, but his mom coaxed him out there in his haze, put his ass in the car. Well, the woman has now been charged with reckless endangerment and making false reports. All right, so that was her deal. Now, let's go to the fine state of California. This is going to piss you off. I'm just warning you in advance, but understand, when you have a lot of money, affluenza money, these are the things that happen for you. 79-year-old Lyle Burgess, he will spend 90 days on house arrest and 5 years probation. The California businessman pleaded no contest to statutory rape of a 5-year-old girl. He will not be required to register as a sex offender. All right, so again, 90 days of house arrest, 5 years probation, does not have to register as a sex offender. Now, the 5 to 6-year-old little girl was molested. Normally, the sentence is state prison, and then when you're released, register as a sex offender. Well, some of the local stations there, they tried to contact the district's deputy attorney to find out why this guy was only charged with the statutory rape, why he would not have to do any of this other stuff that everyone should absolutely have to do in this case. Well, no one really got back to him, so he's only reached the conclusion that anyone can figure out is this guy is filthy rich, and essentially he got away with it. Pleaded no, so there you go. But it's not so much him, it'd be more the judge in this case. I think the guy did what he did, but he should be sentenced. But in this case, I would say put the judge on this. And now let's go to Virginia. I'm going to say there's no chance this guy gets elected, but an independent candidate for Virginia's 10th congressional district said he believes women should be treated as property and wants to make child marriage and incest legal. Operating under the guise of restoring liberty and personal freedom, Nathan Larson, he's advocated for the legalization of incest and child pornography, the elimination of child labor laws, the legalization of child marriage, and the classification of women as property. Sir, like this is what he's running on, and what he refers to as his campaign manifesto. He hailed Adolf Hitler as a white supremacist hero. I guess you couldn't argue that. And he referred to feminism as a global problem that, left unchecked, will eventually destroy all races. He also went on to say that feminism, quite frankly, is behind the rash of high school shootings. He says, quote, guns don't kill people, feminists do. He also wants to repeal state funding for girls and women who attend high school and college, and to allow men to have multiple wives and physically discipline them. He also wants to keep women out of the workplace for various reasons. Writing in his campaign manifesto, quote, if they're women going to put their career ahead of their kids, then they're probably not doing their part to continue the human race by producing high-quality offspring, like himself. So these are the three people that are competing. We have this lovely candidate from Virginia, who, of course, competing against the 79-year-old man who got 90 days of house arrest, 5 years probation, does not have to register as a sex offender, but he admitted to raping a 5-year-old girl. And they compete against the woman in Pennsylvania who staged her own son's DUI in spite of the fact he was not guilty of any of it.
The Virginia congressional candidate is also a registered sex offender.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
That does not shock me.
She staged it, right?
He was high on whatever. Maybe synthetic marijuana, maybe it wasn't, but he was in an altered state. He was in the house. She coaxed him into the car. So now the car wasn't started. No. He sat in the driveway. Then she calls the cops. When the cops show up, they arrested him because the evidence is he's sitting in the car stoned. He is in the vehicle.
Facebook's going one way. Crystal says probably the staged DUI, the least harmful one. Samuel says the woman that staged the DUI. Sheldon says staged DUI sucked the least.
Maybe the Virginia Congress candidate. That's the only reason I would pick him, because he's a candidate.
And Edward also agrees with you on Facebook because he says he won't win.
There's no chance.
But but look, man, the idea, here's the problem with that. The idea that he thinks that platform is okay.
Oh, he does. He's open about it.
That's the world we're living in, man. That's what sucks the most. The discussion continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. All right, still to come, we're going to drink a toast with the shot of the day. The return of what you don't need to know. We'll poop in space coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitchola. You have entered the Men's Room.
Coming up another round of Profile This. We will drink a toast with the shot of the day, but first,
David.
We're full of useless information, and you have far too many brain cells not to let us kill a few. So lend an ear while the Men's Room shares what you don't need to know.
From PopularScience.com, the story says everyone poops, but in space, it's pretty difficult and it requires a lot of planning. Gemini 5 was NASA's first real long-duration mission, and it happened in August of 1965. Gordon Cooper and Pete Conrad spent 8 days in orbit. The reason? They were testing the spacecraft's fuel cells to make sure this new technology was up to the minimum length of a trip to the moon, which is where they wanted to go. Well, between the two astronauts, they had 4 bowel movements during the flight. It wasn't pretty, and it didn't get any prettier throughout the Apollo era. The Gemini missions were the first missions long enough that the astronauts would need to defecate in spite of low-residue diets designed to minimize bowel movements.
Sure.
The astronauts had to poop into a long tube bag and store their defecation on board the spacecraft for the duration of the flight. The stowing problem was actually the biggest challenge on Gemini 5. Where do we put the poop? Now, we don't think about it on Earth, but gravity plays a part of defecation, namely in separating the waste from the one producing said waste. In space, it just stays there. Everything is falling out at the same rate given the impression of floating, so waste that would fall away from the buttocks on Earth, it just kind of stays there in space. You kind of got to break it off manually, if that makes any sense.
Clench the muscles, I'm guessing?
No, you have to break it off with a stick.
Oh, no.
To circumvent this problem,
knife.
NASA added a little extension in the defecation device to help the astronaut, quote, flick the waste away from their bums. Now, on Gemini flights, the defecating astronaut could give his companion not too much distance from the bowel movement because the spacecraft was about the size of a front seat of a small sports car. On Apollo missions, the astronauts needed to move his bowels. They would float into this little tiny corner, while the other 2 men would move as far away as possible because of the smell. They would typically strip down completely nude, removing rings and everything. Then he'd stick the adhesive opening to his naked buttocks and use the facilities. This whole exercise to poop would take more than an hour and a half. And it didn't go always according to plan. From Apollo 10 on their trip back to the moon, I will give you the text of the conversation. Gene Cernan. Where did it come from? Tom Stafford. Give me a napkin, quick! There's a turd floating in the air!
Oh, no.
John Young. I didn't do it. It ain't one of mine. Cernan says, I don't think it's one of mine either. Mine was more sticky than that. Throw that thing away! God almighty! Before the turd was captured, as it was floating in the capsule.
Still want to be an astronaut, kids?
Mom, and we made it to drinking time!
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast 26-year-old Andrew Williams of West Palm Beach, Florida. Now, 2 years ago, Andrew attempted to buy a bottle of Hennessy at a local liquor store. When he was asked for ID, he got pissed off, started cursing at the cashier before leaving. A few hours later, Andrew returned with a gun and shot the cashier in the shoulder, again because the cashier asked for ID. Now, before leaving, Andrew said, and I quote, "Remember my face, you punk-ass bitch." Oh. Well, guess what? The punk-ass cashier indeed did remember his face, and that's why he was ID'd in a police lineup and charged 2 years later with attempted first-degree murder, armed burglary, and aggravated assault.
Had the cashier not reported it before?
They just couldn't find the guy.
They couldn't find him. They couldn't ID him. But remember my face, you punk-ass bitch. And so they call the cashier down and say, hey, man, any of these guys who did whatever it was. And guess what? That punk-ass bitch remembered his face and said, yup, that's the guy right there.
Off the Henny.
Goddamn, man. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bitchola!
Let's get to caller 9 on the line for Profile This, 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.